Kaizer Chiefs' biggest problem that no one is willing to talk about. Well, today we are going to be talking about that. Then also we will be touching on what Bobby Mutawum has said about Kaizer Chiefs, losing or bowing out of the Nedbank Cup, as early as of the round of 32. Anyways, before we get there, buffet two, I give you everything that I think it's something that we need to know about or something that we do need to talk about. Please do make sure that you like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, don't forget to click the bell notification so that next time when you're posting your video, you will be notified and be able to watch that video. Now, guys, we keep on changing the coaches, but nothing seems to change, especially when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs, because for the past 10 years or so, things have not been good. Things have not been good for us. We've changed coaches, Safagalona. Like, I can name a lot of coaches that have come and went, but still we are failing to do one simple task. And for me, this biggest problem is the one that I feel like, okay, maybe this is the reason why we are not where we are supposed to be. It's because of this thing that we're going to discuss on today's video. So do you think all of this, us being where we are today, it has to do with the coaches, or maybe there's something more that we are not looking at? Because let's be honest, we've had our coaches, we had your Atazwane, your Molefinseki, I believe Dylan Shepard at some point was, there. We've had a lot of coaches, guys. Your Kevin Johnsons, you've had your a lot of coaches. Even some of the coaches that were previously there, they came back just to do things all over, but unfortunately they were not able to do things the way they were supposed to be. So for me, the biggest problem is the one of goal scoring. The scoring is a big factor, because as much as a lot of those coaches have come and gone, one thing is clear: the biggest problem that we've had, and it looks like we're still having, in the you score, scoring goals. That is a problem for us whenever we're playing games. Our score is definitely not that convincing. It's moments which you can say it's, most of the time it's individual moments. There's only one or two goals that you can say, okay, this was a build up to us getting to this goal. You understand? It's something that you can say, okay, I remember this goal because it was a build up. But then with us, it's even hard to remember who managed to score because of how we are playing. So we get those moments and then we score, but then it's not something that you can say, okay, you guys used this last game, can you please repeat this against this opponent? Maybe it will work again. It's not there, because it's something that it just comes only once as a moment. So I do have to say for a fact to it, okay, despite everything else, looking at the coaching stuff, because definitely some of you might be looking up, but QP be coach here too, or the coaches that we currently have, they are not the ones doing what the other coaches were doing. Because now, with one thing that I admired about Coach Nazarin Nabi, not that I'm saying he's perfect, now he had his own problems, obviously, but one thing I admired was the fact that, okay, definitely he's a coach who wants to do something with an identity. With us, we do not have that proper identity to say, okay, this is the system that we use, this one is the one that is working for us, so that we can be able to maintain, build on it, continue with it, be consistent with it. If you look at teams like Orlando Pirates, they do have that system and it's working for them. Sundowns currently, they've destabilized that system, but then it looks like they're trying to get back to that system that they used back then, before the matter of changing coaches and stuff like that. So with us, I feel like we do not have that clear identity to say, okay, this is the kind of football that we're going to play and this is what we are going to use. Some of you will say, but QPs, we've tried that, it did not work for us. Well, let's be honest with something else. Remember when Coach Nabi was there at Nansharena, he wanted certain kind of players, so these players were players that he wanted because they would fit in his system, you understand? So Wapumane store which one, Coach Nabi has been fired because he wants his own players. I remember that story, we even talked about it, which was broken early on. There was a lot of controversy about it. We talked about it, we looked at it, and everything else. So, yes, I do believe, Mina, one of the reasons why Kushinazuddin Nabi was let go of was because of that. He was because remember when we signed Kushnabi as the Kaizer Chiefs, we approached him in a manner to say, okay, we've lost our identity. We need you to help us get back our identity, and also we want we want good results, we want good football, we want like almost everything. So I can say that was the rebuilding phase, if you get what I mean, because you can have a rebuilding phase, but then also you can also have something that is called, okay, now I'm just playing for AMA wins, I'm just surviving. You understand? There's that rebuilding phase, there's a surviving phase. On the surviving phase, it's something like, okay, we are playing, we are winning games, and then now we are there, the results are coming in. But then you look at how we play. Is it something that we can replicate? Is it something that we can continue from? You understand? Is it something that we can build from? Is it something that is going to last? Because one thing I know about football without identity is that on the way it get lost. It's better if you have something that is working and then you build on it, you make it better. The greatest inventions ever, it's not something and so okay, this something is new, this is why it's better. No, everything started somewhere and then later on it was turned into the something great that it is. For example, look at the smartphone was not like this. It used to be something else, but now because of they were building on top of what was already there, it is something way better. So for me, I still do believe that when we fired Coach Nazarin Nabi, that was like our biggest mistake, because he knew what he wanted to bring to the club. And staying true to his roots, even though things were not working for him. Because let's be honest, as things did not work out for him because he did not have the right players that would fit to his style of play. Guys, don't let the internet fool you. A working system is very important to a coach, because definitely that is the system that he's going to use. So if Mina as a coach, no, I'm looking for this kind of player, and then you say, okay, I can give you the second best or third best player that can do essentially that job, that is something else. For example, take a look at a player like Makabi Lepo. Makabi Lepo was a player that was wanted by Coach Nazir Nabi, and he knew in his mind how he was going to use this player. And let's be honest, Makabi Lepo, when he arrived, was doing exceptionally well. Whereas even now he's trying to get back, but then I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty, because we are not too sure how to use him effectively. Then some left and then some right, and then he's, I don't know, maybe he's a bit confused. Okay, what is going on with me? So that is something that we need to take into consideration. So I'm still gonna ask the same question that I've asked before. What did you guys believe about team so far? How we are playing, how we are doing things, because there will come a time where we are no longer scoring and we are just defending. We are defending, and then you find a team that is going to put too much pressure on us, and then we end up making mistakes, and then basile, without even us responding in terms of our goals. Is that something? Yes, I know, guys. I know we try to do our counter attacks, we try to do this and this and that, but then what happens? Because now, for me, I feel like ever since Bonke Labo coaches Laba, especially in Chile, the one constant thing that remains is the fact of scoring goals. That is the one biggest problem. The only time that we had a lot of goals was when we played in Nedbank Cup last season, Jogoba Susoba, the defending champions, which, by the way, currently we are out of that competition. That was the only time that we were able to score a lot more goals, in just one competition. Like, that was like the best thing ever that I saw coming from Kaizer Chiefs in the past 10 years. But then after that, things just started dipping down. most of us were blaming the coach, who to coach this and coach that, but then we knew, to be honest, a lot of our players, I don't know what was happening, but a lot of our players, they were no longer the same. Things were different. They were no longer playing the same football. I don't know what happened, but definitely there was something that was going on behind closed doors. I don't know, but those are just my thoughts. And to be quite fair with you guys, I don't think we have, like a bad team. We do have a good team. Players like Mfundo Vilagazi, Gaston Sereno, Tulani Tash Mabas, especially the youngsters, they are top quality. But then you look at players like Abum Duduzi Shabalala, there are certain games where they do exceptionally well, and then there are games Labanga Insigashe corner. What is that problem that is causing this inconsistency? Like, what is there? What is going on? So yeah, guys, I'm still trying to ask myself, Futi, are we really rebuilding, or we are just surviving? So what happens now when we start to lose games? And then because when you start losing games, now we do have confidence, we have good proper confidence and stuff like that, but now losing one game can lead to the second game being lost, third game being lost, all of those things, they add up to that one question: is the problem the coaching, the players, or maybe there's something else, a corner, which we do not know? Probably it has to do with how Kaizer Chiefs are doing things. Maybe, just maybe, how we are managing the team, especially Kaizer Chiefs, not us. Kaizer Chiefs management as the manager, how they are managing it might be the cause of all of this that is happening. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But one thing I do know is that something clearly must change. I don't know what it is, but something definitely should change, and should change for the better. Now, getting back to Boyo Mutawong, guys, he did speak about how Kaizer Chiefs, lost the Nedbank Cup, and he says we should move on and focus on the other competitions, which, by the way, we are left with just two competitions that we are competing in. Not the Nedbank Cup, sorry guys, I still haven't recovered. We have the CAF Confederations, which obviously the game is a must-win. We will be playing this Sunday. Then also we continue on the Betway Premiership. Now, he said we should be looking at the title. So that is a bit ambitious coming from him, knowing very well that we are still struggling with that same problem of scoring goals. And then we say, okay, we are going to compete for the league. I don't know, guys, but we are being too ambitious. Let's be honest. Let's be brutally honest. We are being too ambitious. Where are the goals going to come from? Because we are not even sure. So far, the only player in Aziuti, most of the games he does score by pure luck or something that he does individually brilliantly is Makabili Lepo. But the rest, it's difficult to say, okay, we know who and who is going to score. That is something. That is something that I feel like needs to be rectified. Well, I believe this is it, Makosamasha. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, here's the video before I let you go.
Well, it's part of the game. We miss chances that we should have scored. And it's part of the game. We have to focus on the future, which is the upcoming game that is coming now. It's a tough one also. We've been having a very tight schedule in terms of competitions, the league and the CAF Confed, plus now the Nedbank. So we'll focus on the Confed and focus on the league. It's part of the game. When we lost, we lost. Now it's out of the picture now.